Hi, y'all. Welcome back to another evening session with Near Protocol Philippines. As always, we have some great people over tonight ready to share their interesting project with us. So, tonight we're going to be diving into the auction, a secondary sale NFT marketplace where you can discover, collect, and trade NFTs. So, we have here with us people of the project. Welcome, Chloe and Manish.
So hey, Chloe here. I've been in the Near ecosystem for a little while, about a year and a half now. Before being in the Near ecosystem, I was doing a lot of research in general in the blockchain space, so mostly in Ethereum, researching like validator privacy, researching how to do like dark validator pools, and I was really interested in how we can build like the network of blockchains to build applications on top of it. And so, yeah, as I got into the Near space, I was doing a lot of community building, like with Mintbase and the Near Foundation, just trying to find ways now that we have this really cool working secure blockchain like Near, finding ways for like communities to build on top of it and find use case from it. And so, yeah, now I'm working with the auction, trying to keep doing that same thing. Trying to help, as you said, community members be able to, buy, trade, collect, sell NFTs, and hopefully helping traders just find more utility for what they're trading. So I guess I've been full-time crypto for about four and a bit years now. So I've been researching, building projects, helping projects for quite a while. Before that, I was actually like a soccer or football coach. I have my master's. Yeah, I have my master's in sports psychology. So like my thesis was on social support, injury prevention. So a lot of the same ideas of how do we, or how are we as communities able to better support each other to achieve, desirable outcomes. But I kind of pretty much was doing like elite youth sport for a number of years, about 15 years before I kind of got into the blockchain space. Pretty much fell in love with Ethereum about 4 and a bit years ago. And yeah, it's been all blockchain stuff ever since.
Thank you for having me first of all. And yeah, it's quite a funny story. Everybody has their tricky moment in their life when you think you would be somewhere else, but when the moment starts, you understand, you realize you like, oh, okay, I didn't even know the world such as blockchain existed before. So I was a teacher. I was on English courses. I didn't work at school, but yeah, it was like during almost 10 years. And then something changed in my mind. So I refocused my attention towards something else to improve the skills, the knowledge, the experience, and to break the limits that I was in. And after that, I decided to change my profession. So I dropped teaching practice and I started visiting and going through the educational part for being a designer, UX UI designer. So this was the first steps. So basically 4 days before I got hired by Magic Powered, I was just teaching. I didn't know much, but having that desire to change everything at once, I did my best. So right now, as you can see, I'm a product lead, a product owner of the auction. So right now I have my own product. It's awesome. I didn't even know that you can do it. And so now I agree with the phrase, you can do it, actually. So because you can. It was, again, funny story. We were just having dinner or having lunch. I don't remember, in the kitchen in our office. And we were thinking about, as we had at that moment simultaneously we had been working on different projects, and lots of them were having the same issue. And the issue was, of course, it's not directly connected to what we came up with in the auction, but it was all related to that part of being limited by something, by some rules, by some protocols and such things. So we were thinking about, why don't we start creating a product which is not self-efficient, but more of a tool, more of something that would encourage as a community as well as technical parts of it. So, and push it towards development and progress. And it was basically initial idea and initial thought of creating such thing as an auction. And afterwards, we were just thinking about some particular area where we could implement this idea. And we decided to go to NFT because it's a boom. And it just keeps booming.
Yes.
And it's just, lots of people, they are creators. Some of them want to be creators. Some of them collectors who appreciate those arts, and all their activity built around the promotion of those arts. And it's cool. So lots of people could really show their talent. It doesn't matter they can draw or they cannot, because they have lots of roles that are in those communities, and you can create your own role based on what you have, what you think you can do best, And basically we were just thinking about NFT marketplace, and then we again build a bit narrow thought about basic stuff that we lack right now in our community in the blockchain overall, and thinking of building something that hasn't been built yet. For the dev team was the best part of the process. And I was excited. Everybody in the team was so excited because actually the NEAR is so young and community grows perpetually. It's awesome. And you actually can think of doing something. So in theory, being as a UX designer, UX UI designer, I was just thinking about something in theory to be built, and then visualize it via my work. And the dev team, they think about the background, about the possibilities, about the technical issues, and they love to be to come across those challenges. I will win this battle. And this is the main thing that helped us to build this first very, very fast, because the dev team couldn't be stopped. And for me, it was also very interesting. And the moment of self-education, always is there. And I was thinking about covering more areas to understand and to learn and to get more information from those parts to be better UX UI designer. And after that, I was just promoted to be a product lead, which is like crazy stuff. Being a simple, just really plain UX UI designer. But if we had Ravi on the call, he would tell us that no, you're not just a UX UI designer. Chloe knows this phrase by heart. But yeah, I'm still learning, and this is the best thing. You never know what will be tomorrow. So don't be afraid of accepting that you don't know everything. And by that, you open more doors, more opportunities towards that growth. So yeah, this was our initial. So the kitchen idea evolved to something bigger.
Hopefully you can see my screen here, and you can see the UI of the auction. So this is the landing page currently that you'd see. You go to v-auction.io and you'll be able to, first thing I would do is come in here, and you have to actually log in. So like, for example, if I come here, you can disconnect your wallet, connect your wallet. And once you're connected, you can also start trading. So you can just come straight here and look at what's in the marketplace as a collector, for example. And the idea is that once users come in, they're able to efficiently and easily look through the market, see what's available on the platform. And as you can see, we've been on mainnet for a couple of weeks now. And so our community is kind of slowly coming in and putting up their NFTs for auctions. A variety of different NFTs that are up here, which is really cool to see from the community. They're all different like filters you can go through for now, like 3D art. It's just self-identified. So as you're putting up an auction, you can kind of choose how you'd like it to be displayed. We also have projects, for example. So, not too many of them yet, but users are able to take their accounts and then turn them into projects. And then the main project we have here is our auction community account. So for example, if an artist is like, hey, I want to showcase my work as an entire project, maybe it's Pretty Punks or Antisocial Ape Art Club or whatever these projects are, they'll be able to have their own profile page showcasing all of the auctions they have specifically. So if you don't want to be showcasing the hundreds or thousands or tens of thousands of NFTs on the main page, you can have this link that you have and you can share this with your own community. So it kind of provides this way for a non-technical user to come onto the platform, get their profile page set up and have some of their auction. And as you can see, we also have private auctions. And so maybe I can zoom in a tiny bit here. But everything listed as a private auction is only available for NFT holders. So we had this airdrop NFT go out to about 1,200 people a few weeks ago. If you're a special holder, like an OG community member, you can come into one of these auctions. So for example, we're auctioning off an Undead Army number 3,346. Mm-hmm. And you can see there's been many of bids. You can see Chloe.near had a little
I wonder
bit
who
out
that
there,
is.
Yeah, I wonder. You have Everett kind of going back and forth with BK Knight. You see so you can kind of see the communities having a little bit of fun. The starting price, starting bid was at half a near. It's gone up to 14 near. And you could see how people are able to very, kind of have fun as a community, come out and bid. And then if someone's like, okay, I want to see what other private auctions are available, you can just go back to this page of this project and see what else is up there. So if you want to go for like maybe a near Tinker Union, I'm pretty sure these NFTs are used to be able to like deposit somewhere and get some tokens out of it. I don't know. These projects are pretty wild. But if you want to get involved, there's some people going off on this, bidding war as well. So it's pretty easy to set up your auction on the auction platform. You can go to your project specifically. Obviously, these are already all listed. Oh, here we go. One that's not listed. There we go. So if we wanted to list this NFT, we would just click this wonderful list NFT button. We would put these details in. So for example, is it 3D art? Is it abstract? You can add multiple different categories to it. You could add your hashtag. So for example, we were talking to actually the Near Filipino Guild recently. We were like, hey, you guys should have your own hashtag, like FAG, Filipino Artist Guild. So that when people want to search for these NFTs, they're able to search more easily by community. So maybe there could be hundreds of users in a community. Maybe they don't not all under the same project, but if they all use the same hashtag, collectors will still be able to find what the community is working on. You put a start date, so maybe I want to start it today. You put an end date. Ooh, more stuff is coming. It's funny, sorry. Look at this.
These are updates, recent updates. So Chloe hasn't been just familiar enough.
I'm like, cool, I love it.
Yeah, so it's more particular.
You can choose your exact start date. So for example, a couple days ago, if you wanted to start an auction, it would happen only now. And you can kind of choose how long you want the auction to go for. What's really cool, and I love this, is that now you can choose, maybe I want the auction to start after this call so that I'm ready and I can have a live stream of my auction starting. So maybe I want to start it at 11 in a couple of hours. And then maybe I want to end it specifically at, maybe at noon, because I know that my community is having a live event at noon, and maybe we're gonna have a big party for the end of the auction. So in my opinion, that's super cool, super helpful, and I know a lot of our partners are gonna be happy about that. And I'm sure people that watch this interview later will be very excited about being able to choose the time of their auctions. I'm pumped. So, but yeah, so to me, the coolest part is just kind of the starting price and minimum incremental bid. I know some other platforms kind of offer different types of incremental bids, but the ability for a user to just say, okay, you know what, I want to make sure I get at least one near for this NFT, but I want users to have lots of fun. So we're going to have like a 0.001 minimum near bid, right? So people can go back and forth all day and have some fun and fight over the NFT. But as an owner, I know I'm going to get at least one near, or maybe it's a really high value NFT. So you're like, you know what, I want 100 near, $574. But hey, once you're going to pay that price, have fun, go for it, and really experiment with what you're doing. And actually, one of the really cool, useful things I think is helpful when you have this kind of really low bid price is that as a lister of an NFT, you could even have some fun and say, okay, anyone who bids on my NFT can receive an airdrop after the auction's over. So one of the ideas that we're probably going to start using with the auction alpha leak is that now we can come through here and any of these users, we know these are all whitelist NFT holders. We know these are all OG community members. We can go back after the auction and then airdrop NFTs from the auction to people that participated. Hey, thank you for participating on this wonderful auction. Here is a nice airdrop. And so I think it's a pretty cool way. Maybe, when we have I'm just going to go over a tangent. Our future auction hackathon, if someone wants to come in and build a wonderful tool where you can just come to your auction, click a little button, and then airdrop to everyone that bid. These are some of the cool ideas. I know Vicky said, hey, we try and build new cool things the community can use. And so this is what's available now on the auction. You can come bid, collect, and trade NFTs on the auction. I know the audio is like really cool, but I'll mute myself. Any specific questions, please feel free to ask. But in my opinion, the best way to get started is just to come to the platform, log in yourself, put up an NFT you made, go on Mintbase, go on Paras, make something yourself, throw it up, share the link on Twitter, maybe tag me or Vicky or Monish. If the starting bid is under one near, I'll probably come go leave a bid. So there you go. Go share your auction with me and I'll come out and have some fun.
Maybe I should create an account, and then put up.
You definitely should put
up
something up, share it with. You can even put, you can screenshot this right when you get this interview done. You can get a little still from the interview, put it up on the, mint it somewhere, put some royalties in there for the auction, put it up. I'm sure you might get a few bids up.
Yeah, I have a few ideas already.
There you go.
All right.
Yeah, by the way, you have nothing to lose because the NFT, which has been auctioned, it would never been locked. So you can simultaneously put on the sale on Mintbase, you mint on, or Paras, for instance.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah, you just have fun.
That is nice.
Yeah,
okay.
Smart contract won't give you to lose it. So anyway, as being a purchaser or buyer, you also have this security part to be held.
Yeah, so anybody can just go to the auction. So that's kind of why, in my opinion, it's pretty cool. The best way to get started is just to go to the website, log in, and get started, because anyone with a Near account can do that. All you need is an NFT. So as Vicky was saying, you can go to Paras, for example, as one of the easiest places to just get started and mint an NFT. Mm-hmm. You can do what people have already been doing. You could just list your NFT on Paras for 5 Near, or do some sort of auction on Paras. And then you could test out the auction marketplace as well. So all you're doing is taking your NFT and you're, approving it on multiple marketplaces. So you're taking your asset, you're saying, hey, Paras, you're able to sell this if someone gives me 10 Near for it. Mintbase, you're able to sell this to someone if someone gives me 10 Near for it. And then you can go to the auction. You can say, hey, we're going to start at 10 Near bidding, and we're going to go for 2 days, and we're going to see if we can get more than 10 Near, for example. And so to me, that could be a pretty cool way of people using what they're used to. So Paras for simple sales or Mintbase for simple sales, but then also seeing if potentially over the week, for example, maybe they can get a little more in an auction. So I think we're definitely going to see a lot more community members trying that out. where maybe they're already used to having a collection that goes on sale. Like I've seen like even card for card type of events on Paras, where there's just thousands and thousands of cards for sale for like 0.1 near or 0.2 near. Well, the idea is maybe you can start the auction at 0.1, 0.01 near or something like that on the auction. And if people are really having fun, maybe you might get half a near or 1 near from your NFT, right? Have some fun with it. And you could still have the simple sale elsewhere. So yeah, hopefully that answers the question. Anyone can come, anyone can make a profile and get started on the auction. So you can't actually trade NFTs for other NFTs on the actual auction platform yet. Actually, this does exist in the Near ecosystem. There was a hackathon project a few months ago that built this out, and I'm pretty sure Paras actually funded that project. So I'm pretty sure Paras is adding or has added NFT trading. Obviously, with the auction, we build a lot of features as the community needs them over time. And so if NFT trading became the next hot thing that everyone in the community wanted, I'm sure it would get onto the auction platform eventually. Currently, we're focusing very heavily on just making the auctions work very well. So as you can see, for example, the ability to specify the time you want your auction to start and end, and features similar to that are we're working on mostly first. But NFT trading, like swapping one NFT for the other, is something that we don't have on our roadmap currently. But I am excited to see if people actually use it quite a lot. I think it's a pretty cool idea, but I think it requires a few more rules. Like, for example, being able to say, I'll swap you anything from the Secret Skellies contract for anything from the the Pretty Punks smart contract. That'd be kind of cool. And so hopefully we can, I know Magic Powered has some sort of logic and projects that work similarly. So maybe as Magic Powered expands, we get some of those projects built up.
Yeah, it's a work in progress, but I'm confident that you guys will get there, we'll hit that,
I'm sure there'll be many features that get added in the future.
Yes.
A bit shorter than that, potentially. We're looking just to kind of smooth out the platform, get a lot more of our partners listing on the platform, testing out audio NFTs, for example. So over the next few weeks, the idea is, so currently we have support for, still files and GIFs, images, and hoping to allow support for MP4 files. So then people can be adding videos, music, and stuff like audio NFTs. So we're looking forward to that. As well, if we're talking about 3+ months down the line, potentially different auction types, different end of auction race conditions. So for example, typically when an auction ends, that's it, right? So if an auction goes for 24 hours, whoever has the highest bid at the end of 24 hours, they get the auction. There's not really any room to continue or extend it. But because we have the blockchain and because everything's built like a computer and a clock, there are some platforms that have added these kind of gamification fund end of auctions, like race conditions, which basically means that, if the auction's ending in like 30 seconds and I put some last second bid in there, there'll be another 5 minutes for the auction to continue. And we can all keep going and bid again, and the timer will extend again for 5 minutes, and you can just keep bidding over and over again. And you can see that can make things really fun. You can get people giving more funding for the NFT. And as someone who's selling an NFT, you're happy because you're going to get more assets for your NFT. That's always a positive for most people. The people collecting the NFT are happy because they're having a lot more fun, extending the time, bidding at the last second. And so it can create a more efficient experience for the people involved. It can also be a lot more complex with what you're offering. So for example, what if people decide to extend the auction for days when it was supposed to end, a day ago? There's just other security considerations to think about. But adding in some basic race conditions is definitely something that's on our roadmap to make sure that we can continue adding these features and making it more fun for people to bid. And then as Ravi was saying, we're also expanding to other blockchains eventually. Yeah, once you create your project, the cool idea is that you'll be able to, for example, say you logged in with your Near account and your Aurora account to keep things relatively simple. You'd then be able to have your project where you have NFTs not just from different smart contracts on Near. For example, I have my Paros NFTs listed on my project, and I have my Mint-based NFTs. But you could also have NFTs from Aurora, for example. So you could have one project page which you can share on your website, on Twitter, on Instagram. And when someone clicks that link, they're able to see your NFTs from various blockchains that you've listed for sale. They're able to log in easily to whichever. So in my opinion, the flow would be pretty simple because you give someone a link, they click it, they get to a website, which brings them, okay, let's see if I can open, there we go.
There you go.
So perfect. I mean, so you can see how you'd have your project here. And we already explained a little bit how you'd already be logged in and you can kind of disconnect your wallet here. So if we're talking about 3 to 6 months time, so imagine you have another button underneath this saying connect MetaMask, let's say, right? You click that, you connect your MetaMask. So now your Aurora account is connected to the auction. And then on this wonderful profile that I have, we'd be able to show NFTs owned not only on Near, but also NFTs owned on Aurora, because I've logged in, the application can showcase all of my data. And so what I think is really cool here is that when I go try and list an NFT, the UI will be able to know what's taking place. As a user, I won't have to know too much what's going on. And then I can just put the settings like we've already shown. On the other side, if I wanted to purchase an NFT, so say I go to the marketplace, I'm a brand new user, I've logged in with my Near account and my MetaMask account for the first time, I'd be able to come to this wonderful NFT. Let's say this glass punk was actually listed on Aurora. I'd be able to come here. Maybe it would say, 7.9 ETH because Aurora uses Ethereum as its base token. And now I'll just hit place bid. Okay. Currently, if I hit place bid, it'll go to the Near wallet, redirect automatically. The only difference would be that it would just have a MetaMask pop up. So instead of a Near wallet redirect, you'd see a MetaMask pop up. Someone will be able to bid, and all of the data and stats would be on the exact same UI. So in my opinion, that's kind of what we're hoping to look forward to over the next maybe past or closer to 6 months or 3 to 6 month time frame. But this is the idea. Users will be able to come to the platform regardless of what blockchain they're used to. They'll be able to log in, right? Connect their wallet from, maybe they'll use Solana or Polygon or whatever. There's hundreds of blockchains out there, so they'll be able to connect whatever they're used to, whatever they want to use. And then they'll be able to just go to their project, right? And see all the NFTs they own and list them easily. So I'm pretty excited about that in the next, 3 to 6 months, where again, the user experience of using NFTs in the Web3 space just becomes heavily simplified. And as you said, as artists are looking for new potential places to list their NFTs, in my opinion, the ability to just, as you see, you can convert to a profile or a project. So you can go back and forth, right? So you could be like, okay, I'm an artist, I want to become a project and list these things. That's awesome. And you can have a profile. Kind of like when you have an Instagram page, you could have a personal page or a business page, and you can go back and forth based on what you're trying to do. Use your Instagram account to sell things. It doesn't matter what the product is or where you are in the world for the most part. It's just a social media site. It's a tool that's used to showcase things. That's all the auction is. It's a tool that's used to showcase your NFTs, to collect, buy, and sell. And then we specifically obviously use the auction.
Again, the auction, look it up. And also we'll be posting the links, on the description below. So you can follow and see for yourself what the auction has to offer to you as an NFT artist. Thank you very much and have a good night.